Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be an interesting matchup between the Indianapolis Colts and the Cleveland Browns. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And, Coach, we come at you from the shores of Lake Erie. EA Sports has the coverage of the NFL from First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Indianapolis Colts and the Cleveland Browns. Hi again, everyone, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Godden, and Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. They come in after tasting defeat for the first time in about a month as their loss snapped a 4-game winning streak. Meanwhile, for the visiting Colts, they've come in on a nice run of recent form, 4 wins out of 5.
And if you look back to last week, it was all about their defense. Anytime you hold an NFL team to single digits, that's saying something.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
There we go.
Now Ryan on first down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones, finding some room at midfield. He's at the 30, 20, touchdown Indianapolis. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Colts are going to take a first-quarter lead. You talk about explosion plays. Here's one pretty much right out of the gate.
And now they get to ride a wave of emotion, momentum, everything. Just as you described, right out of the gate. Big sprint, touchdown. They're excited. But on the other side, they've got to guard against a major letdown because they hit them right in the gut with that one. And now you start to question yourself a little bit when you give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. They'll have Lamar Jackson calling the shots, the former Heisman Trophy winner from Louisville.
And I'll bet right now it's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
2 touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
Now Jackson on first down. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And that's caught inside the 30. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. It's a big play there for the Browns. 52 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Now Saquon Barkley. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. And now this offensive unit, we get a look at their starters. They put up good numbers last week, looking to carry that forward.
Yeah, Brandon, they saw the numbers from last week. They expect to at least replicate them. They think that they can put up bigger numbers this week. They are a confident bunch.
Here's Jackson. And this is caught at the 8. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. The numbers for Hunter Henry from a week ago. 3 catches, 56 yards.
And he was able to get open there, but that's not always easy against this bunch defensively. We are deep enough into the season where numbers count. This is number 1.
And down he goes goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. The former Brown, Jabal Sheard, in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. So first down went in the wrong direction. They're at the 13-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Here's Jackson to throw. And he can't corral it. Maybe a big missed opportunity there defensively in the end zone. And now 3rd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so.
And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Davante Adams, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Browns are within an extra point of tying this thing up. And in the red zone, I guess this is why you have a guy like that on your roster.
Without a doubt, and if you have him, you use him because he's a guy who's going to win just about every time. I don't care what the coverage is.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left. We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Complete to Hilton. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
From the gun on 3rd down, Ryan. And this is going to be incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
No. Check, Patriot.
Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Boy, that's a lot of sirloin steak to be taken down for no gain, partner.
Are you trying to suggest that he is a huge man?
He is
not just a big man,
big,
a huge man.
Big boy.
Well, how about the credit then for the defense to be able to chop that big tree and put him on the ground?
I know back when you played, it took 4 of you to take a guy like that down, right?
Well, that's for sure. And you know what else? I didn't want to challenge him at dinner either.
A very solid gain of 27.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Flush to his right. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. In for the score. And the Browns are able to cash in for 6.
A Okay, the highlights are going to show the guy throwing it, the guy catching, and ended up in the end zone. But how about those big guys up front that allowed that to happen? He had a ton of time to throw the ball.
He did. There's two sides to that coin, though. The O-line was great, D-line not very good.
And as well as coverage, because now you're really stuck in a bad spot. That much time to throw the ball, someone usually comes free.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Colts offense gets ready to head back on the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
And they begin the drive with a duel. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Ryan. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Now it's Ryan. This is caught. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run.
Gun.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he takes it in for a Colts score. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Colts are an extra point away from tying up this football game. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game first? That becomes the burden of the play caller.
A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they...
And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Davante Adams with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Browns have moved out in front. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Now it's Wilson. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And the Colts coming out now. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. Tackle made there by Myles Garrett.
Well, obviously, they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead, now, they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now. They'll run again. This time it's Abdullah. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. They're back now to the original line of scrimmage thanks to that 8-yard gain. 3rd down now to follow.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
He goes full extension, and he's got it. A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts first down.
And a key number on that play, 3. 3rd play of the drive, 3rd down, spectacular catch, turns into a first down.
First down saves them from a 3-and-out. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. We saw a lot of that a week ago defensively from him. AFC Defensive Player of the Week. Just always seems to be around the football.
I like your observation there. Understands the game, understands positioning, can put himself in the right spot, and then make a play on the football.
And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together formulating a streak, and the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Jackson on first down. Goes underneath for Henry. 11 more yards that go around. A first down as well. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on him a little bit.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Rob Gronkowski, his 6th touchdown of the season, and the Browns add 6 to their lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Now it's Wilson. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
A good pickup there, a 22.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. First target, first catch, and a first down. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not...
And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Dalvin Tomlinson in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. More from Cleveland after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now Ryan. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. Ryan in the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. On the right side, it's Hilton with a catch. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part of it.
Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Myles Garrett in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. And
Enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused. Because they had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
And just 18 seconds remain till halftime as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. So we have reached halftime here in Cleveland with the Browns on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL. We'll get things started up at Ford Field in Detroit. And it's the Bills who have the lead in that one. Traquan Smith, a touchdown reception. Next, we head off to check out another game. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. 2 touchdown passes there for Dak Prescott. Finally, let's get to the country music capital of the world and see what's happening with the Titans at home in Nashville. And right now, they have the lead over the visiting New York Giants. The Titans were dreadful in the season's first half, but a win could get them back to 2-7. In the game you're watching, we've seen a strong first half out of Lamar Jackson. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. As the offense takes the field, we zero in on Lamar Jackson, and it's been a good game for him to this point, Charles. They're winning on the scoreboard. They got to be feeling pretty good.
And it's always fun for them when they're not just winning on the scoreboard, but they're contributing in a big way. As you see him throwing touchdown passes, watching this video here, it's got to be a fun time for him and a relaxed time because nothing is pressing.
Relaxed, cool, calm, collective, all those things describing him right now.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And an alley to run. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Going deep for Hopkins. This is caught inside the 15. A big play that time for Cleveland. 47 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
On second down, here's Jackson. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's third down. They're looking for a spark defensively. When he went for that ball, probably thought he had a chance at the pick. Now, remember, they had 2 last week in the win. Obviously losing here.
But you talk about looking for a spark, and the best sparks are when you make big plays for your team, and he had that opportunity there. Couldn't haul it in, but that doesn't mean they're going to back off.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Hunter Henry, his second touchdown on the season, and the Browns add on to their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit, get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what. Well, it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
On first down, Ryan finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Give him 3 on the play. And it'll make it second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Off the play fake. Here's Ryan. Drops it to Jones in the flat. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. Call it a gain of 3. And that'll make it third down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make...
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
The good old cover 3 defense, partner. When you start playing football as a safety, that's the first thing you're taught. Middle of the field, be as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, and break on the football when it's thrown and pick it off, just as we saw there.
And he'll be corralled right around the 34. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And he'll get 2, maybe 3, up near the 37.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Now Jackson on second down, eluding the pressure right. And right side hitter's got it. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
They go play action here on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Jabal Sheard in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Then he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The 21 yards there as they convert on third. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary. Figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
And down inside the 15 he goes. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 11 more on that one and another first down.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
Back to throw. Cummings flushed out right. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10.
Well, if you're going to throw the ball on first and goal from the 2, the worst thing that should result is an incompletion for you offensively. But, Brandon, this is a different type of football. Back in my day, first and goal from the 2, a lot of big people with big neck rolls, they were on the field trying to ram it into the end zone.
Looking to throw. Cummings escaping the pressure right. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, his 9th touchdown of the season, and the Browns add 6 to their lead. So he scrambled right, but was able to look back toward the middle of the end zone to find the target.
As you know, in this game, sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules because we all know most guys throwing the football are taught never throw back into the middle of the field on a scramble. He did it and got away with it for a touchdown.
Instinct sometimes, right? They just take over.
Instinct and vision. Sometimes you just see people who are open, you're able to get it to them.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done. Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
And we're back now here in Cleveland. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. On second down, here's Ryan. To the right side to Eric Ebron. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because there should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
So that'll back him up 5. So after the penalty, heading in the wrong direction, 2nd and 15. Throwing again, Ryan. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. That one good for 14 yards. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
And on 4th and 1 as a running back, you're looking for any seam you can find. This is not where you want to be a hero and break off a big one. You just need to make sure you get that yard. And here he picks up the first down with a couple of yards to spare.
No gain on the play there. It'll be 2nd down. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Ryan. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
My man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
Yeah, really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. Now it's Ryan. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And the pressure gets to him again. The Colts unable to convert here on 4th down. And the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position. Being just short of midfield, they decide to take a crack at it on 4th down. They don't come through.
Sometimes it's just showing confidence in your defense. You know that they're good, and they'll take care of you. A lot of coaches during the week will announce to their team, we're going to be aggressive, guys. We're going to go for it. Hey, defense, you got me? A little bit of a challenge to them to see if they'll pick up the rest of the team.
We'll see how they respond now. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick, and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And the Colts getting ready to go. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. Good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Here's Ryan. And that's incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Gun! 280, 125.
Throwing again. Ryan. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Let's go.
The Colts on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
125.
Ryan will throw again. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 7 yards on the quick slant and a first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Hey, boys, we got 4 down.
Now Ryan on 1st down. Now they go screen. It's complete. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He can make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Again, Ryan. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
We always talk about receivers. If the ball hits your hand, you're supposed to haul it in, but it is hard to adjust to a pass thrown a little bit behind you.
That one was all the momentum going forward. Couldn't contort his body back to grab it. The Colts on 3rd down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This is 3rd and 11. To throw again is Ryan. Ryan hit, and he lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
go. Here we go. Here we go. Mike 55. Mike 55. Hey, eat. Watch the pass.
Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive.
Offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards.
Still first down.
Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay.
Delay of game. Offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still first down.
Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive.
Delay of game. Offense.
And that'll set him back 5.
Still first down.
Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay.
Delay of game. Offense.
They were already backed up. Now they're backed up further.
I think they were being so careful to make sure all assignments were covered that they ended up running themselves out of time.
Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. After the penalty, it's Henry. Able to break the tackle and get some breathing room before being brought down just outside the 5. 4 yards on the pickup. It'll be second down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
They'll run it again with Henry. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Give him 5 yards on the run there, but it'll leave him with a definite 3rd and long on the horizon.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
4 down, check.
Off play action. Cummings. And he connects with Ertz. And he will finally be taken down, but not before he reaches the 38. A big play there on 3rd down for the Browns. And even 50 yards.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
Well, right now, maybe they're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head. But
that's
the
about
virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
A 1st down carry for Barkley. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Browns, they continue to put themselves in position for a 1st-round bye as they move